If I can have everyone's attention, we'll get started with our post-race press conference following the AdvoCare 500 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We are welcomed by Jeff Gordon, driver of the number 24 DuPont Chevrolet, who finished second in tonight's race. Jeff, talk a little bit about your run out there tonight.
Oh man, what a battle! Going into this race that it's going to be a fight. The track is just so slick, and your car has a lot of grip for about 5 laps, and then all of a sudden it just starts going sideways, and we just never could get my car tight enough. On the short runs we were really fast, which worked to our favor here to get that second place and almost that win. And I'm just mad at myself right now. I don't know. I guess I'm just getting soft in my old age. I'm too nice because, I don't know, 15 years ago I'd have just moved him right up the racetrack. I don't know why I didn't do that, and I thought I could get to his quarter panel and kind of slow him down and stay there, but I got there. I just carried too much speed into 3, and it pushed up the racetrack. And, man, this team is just, I'm so proud of how hard they fought, through this whole season, and we know how bad we need that win, so it's pretty disappointing to come up short like that.
Joining Jeff is Brad Keselowski, driver of the number 2 Miller Lite Dodge, who finished third in tonight's AdvoCare 500. Brad, talk a little bit about your run out there.
Yeah, just a solid night where we had a car that was a pleasant surprise. I thought after practice we weren't going to be all that competitive, but once again the two team, everybody on it stepped up, made some great changes this morning to get us where we just had a strong, consistent night. Running 5th or 6th or wherever that was, and just proud of that effort. Certainly would like to win, but sometimes you just come up a little bit short, and we just need a little bit of speed. Quite honestly, I felt bad for Martin. It looked like he had this thing won, and a yellow came out, but that's racing. So sometimes you get your break, sometimes you don't. But either way, a great race that I'm proud to say we're able to clinch our spot in the chase with. And we'll move on to Richmond and have fun. I know I'm going to have a blast at Richmond with no pressure. I'm going to have fun watching Jeff and Carl.
I'm glad you're going to be enjoying the evening.
It's going to be a good race, man. I'm a T-Bone.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be intense.
But
don't get in front of me on the last lap.
That's what I would have thought today, man.
It's not going to happen twice.
But just thrilled with how our season has gone, and feel like we're carrying some very strong momentum into the chase. I mean, I hate to talk about this too much because the next week and a half, that's about, I'm going to get that question 100 times, but just really proud of our night.
All right, we'll open up for questions for Brad and Jeff. Please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. We'll start right in the middle with George.
Yeah, Jeff, George Diaz with the Orlando Sentinel. I guess you're kind of intimating maybe next week it's boys have at it rules in terms of you and the handful of other guys trying to qualify.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that race is always intense. I've been a part of it where, I've either been trying to get in like this or, trying to stay in the chase. And there's so much on the line trying to win the race. And that race is always intense. But when you look at how many guys have to win, the points and everything else, I mean, it's going to be a pretty crazy night, and we got a lot of pressure on us. So we're going to be going there, guns loaded and ready to do battle. And just like what we did tonight, we're just going to fight all the way to that last lap. It's just short track's a little bit different than mile and a half. I think everybody expects there to be a little more pushing and shoving on the short track. So that's definitely going to ramp up the intensity.
Okay, additional questions for Jeff or Brad? Okay, we'll take one from Nate.
Nate Ryan, USA Day for Brad. If I can interrupt your
don't
reading
let us
for a second.
That
program must be riveting.
Interesting program.
Yeah, look at this picture of this Hooters girl, man. Go ahead. It was pretty good.
You came in here, Brad, tied with Tony and Jimmy and Denny with 3 wins as potential number 1 seed. Now, Denny wins here tonight. He's guaranteed at least being the number 1 seed for the chase, and he's going to Richmond where you think Denny Hamlin's usually pretty good there. But as a guy who's right up there with him in that seeding battle, how do you kind of handicap that going to Richmond now? And what does it mean, I guess, for Denny Hamlin to have 2 straight wins and to have that kind of momentum and potentially be the number 1 seed?
It's just one of those things you can be proud of. I think when the chase, gets going, those bonus points are nice, but they certainly don't guarantee anything. 4 wins is the equivalent of 12 finishing spots throughout the chase. So, that does buy a little over one bad or one position in every race in the chase, which is something, but it's nothing to write home about. So at the end of the day, you still have to perform in the chase. And I'm sure Danny knows that. I know that. I know the 3 wins that we have. They just make you feel good and give you something to beat your chest about. But at the end of the day, you still have to perform in the chase. You still have to be consistent. And he's in great standing, obviously, like you said. But he's going to have to fight just like everybody else in the chase, and so are we.
Okay, we'll take it to the press box for questions for Brad and Jeff.
For Jeff, Monty Dutton from the Gas and Gazette. A lot of times track position makes things difficult to read when you're following a lot of the thing. Did you have a performance boost? Did your car get a lot better late, or was it just a matter of getting in the position where you could show it?
Well, our car all night was strong in the short runs and just not good on the long runs. So we came in, we took tires. I mean, there's only 10 cars or 9 cars on the lead lap. We came in and put tires on, put enough fuel to make sure we could make it to the end there. We made some adjustments, and I got a really good restart, on the outside. Not talking about that last round. I'm talking about when we got up into second. I mean, we had a half a lap on the tires, and we came in of green, right? Half a lap, then those caution laps. We came in and got 4 tires and started on the outside and drove from whatever, we were 8th or whatever to second. That's how important tires are here in track position and being in the right lane on the restarts. We had a good car on the short runs, but we just didn't have it on the long runs. But we were maintaining, unless Martin ran out of fuel, we were pretty much going to finish second. But actually, that caution was the best thing that could happen for us. That was really, to me, the only thing that gave us a shot to win. I thought we, if we get a good restart, getting that outside lane, I thought we could get even Hamlin. I thought we were better than him on the restarts, and I got a little bit too tight, but we had the run. We had it, and just didn't do enough with it going down the back straightaway.
Additional questions from the press box?
Question for Jeff Gordon, Wolfgang Munzer, Rennsport Press Agency. Jeff, around lap 190 or 200, you were running together with your teammate Jimmy Johnson. Was this part of the strategy that you helped each other to gain positions at that time?
You're going to have to explain that one to me.
Wolfgang, can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, Jeff, around lap 190 or 200, you were running behind Jimmy Johnson. I think you were 7th or 8th, and Jimmy were in front of you, and in front of Jimmy was Sam Hornish. Was it part of your strategy, helping each other to gain positions?
We weren't doing a very good job of it. If that was a strategy, no, there's no strategy there. The strategy, on a track like this is to get your car working the best that you can. I mean, the teams share information on pit road of what adjustments each team is making to maybe help or hurt, their car. But, I felt like neither one of us were really very good, not good enough to win. So I guess the answer is no.
Okay, we have no more questions in the press box. Any final questions? Okay, we'll take one right here in the middle, Mike.
Mike Neff from FrontStretch.com. This is for either of you guys. We've had 3 instances lately of one lane being obviously stronger on restarts than the other, and it may not even be the lane that is the primary lane when the race is going on. Can you explain how the grip can be that much different in 2 lanes that close to each other?
Well, I don't know if that's anything new. I mean, when the tires are new and they have a lot of grip, if your car's working well, you run around the bottom until the grip gives up. So, that's why you see guys running around the bottom for a few laps. But I mean, I was shocked. I mean, Hamlin, Kyle Busch, other than Martin and maybe myself and a couple others, I was very surprised those guys were able to run a lower lane tonight, even on the long runs. Of course, down in 3 and 4, the bottom lane is the only lane. It's a preferred lane all the time because you hook that paint down there. But you don't really, you kind of have that in 1, 2, but not really But no, it's just because there's so much grip in the tires. The shortest way around is almost always the best and fastest way around, and it's just makes it hard to make that outside lane work. You know, this is not a progressive bank racetrack, so if you have progressive banking, maybe you have a shot at carrying a little more momentum on that outside. But you gotta carry a lot more speed on the outside here on those first couple laps after a restart if you're gonna make any ground up on a guy that's got fresh tires.
Final question for Brad or Jeff. Nate, follow up. Oh, I'm sorry, Seth.
Seth Livingstone, NASCAR.com. Jeff, it's been an awful long time since you've won at Richmond. Tell me over the last 10 years or so, has the track changed? Has your philosophy changed? Has the competition gotten that much better? Why has it become so much more difficult to win at Richmond?
Well, I mean, it's always hard to win no matter where you go. We've had cars capable, not the last time we were there, but last year we actually had a car capable of winning. Kenseth wrecked us one time, and then can't remember what happened in the other one. But I mean, we've had cars in the last couple years that have been good enough to win. So, you know, we've already been talking about Richmond in our debriefs about the things that we can do to improve our performance the last time we were there. We just completely flat out missed a setup last time we were there, trying some new stuff, and it didn't work. So we'll go back with a little bit more conventional, typical for us, and then, you know, try to improve on it from there, and you know, see how the race unfolds. But I think we can. I mean, we know Kyle's going to be tough there. We know those other guys are going to be tough there, but I think we can mix it up with him pretty good.
Nate.
Following up on that, Jeff, we're trying to crunch the numbers here. It looks like it's going to be pretty much you versus Kyle, and you're going in there 12 points behind him, so that pretty much means you're going to have to win. It would be tough, I think, to finish 12 positions ahead of Kyle at Richmond. Does it make it easier, though, for you that it's pretty much just probably going to be just down to the two of you for one spot?
Well, you don't want to have to go beat Kyle Busch at Richmond. He's pretty strong there. But I think we're really going to just focus on our own program like we always do. You know, we focus on tuning the car, communicating, and working the setup the best we possibly can, and try to have the fastest race car out there. And if we can do that, you know, then we try not to make any mistakes driving on pit road and pit strategy. If we don't have the fastest car, then we got to switch it up and, you know, puts a little more pressure on the crew chief, or maybe even on me if we try some tire strategy, you know, fuel mileage strategy, whatever we do track position wise. But you can't predict any of those things. You know, you just got to go out there and race. You got to race hard. I'm not going into it thinking that we got to finish whatever 12 positions ahead of Kyle. You know, I'm thinking we gotta win. And if we don't make it, as long as we put our best, you know, effort forward, we didn't make it, then we go try to win races in the final 10.
Guys, congratulations on your run tonight. Thank you for your time.